Hurley Johnson with Timeless Trees. Just wanted to talk a few minutes with you about temperatures, what to do with your trees during really cold temperatures. We got temperatures this week in Houston down close to freezing, and some we've heard as cold as 12 or 14 in Monday night. Anyway, long story short, I think of trees basically in a couple of different temperature zones. Tropicals you need to protect below 40, which means any kind of ficuses, fukientees, and things like that, you need to put them in your house or put them in your garage. They need to stay above 40. Most trees, most of the other trees, even crepe myrtles and podocarpus are good down to about 32. But once you get below 32, that's when it gets serious. And below 25, it gets real serious. So if you have trees potted in small pots, any shoheens you need to bring in if it's going to be freezing, because you don't want the roots to freeze. Most trees are fine out to about 30 degrees. Below 25 or so, you really need to sit them on the ground and cover them if you can. So the ones I worry about most are the tropicals. The semi-tropicals you've got to take care of also when it gets down below 25, and that's the podocarpus, the crepe myrtles, and the Chinese elms. And most of your deciduous. Most plants you can just sit on the ground, and the ground's going to be 2 or 3 degrees warmer than the surrounding air. But you got to remember that pot, if you got air surrounding it, it's going to be the temperature of the air. So if you get it on the ground, it'll be 2 or 3 degrees warmer. And the ones that are pretty tough are Japanese black pine, the juniper family, cedar elms, oak trees, and Texas persimmon. They're used to down in the teens or less, but that's when they're planted in the ground. So even if we have those, we'll usually set them on the pots down on the ground. I hope this helps. So like I said, protect those. You don't have to worry about most trees down, even ficuses, until it gets below 40. I wouldn't worry about them. But when we start talking below freezing and below 25, it gets very serious. And you'll damage, if the roots ever freeze, the tree will die. It's just that simple. Just remember that all these plant cells are made up, just like us, made up mostly of water. And when water freezes, it bursts the cell and the cell dies. If you have a greenhouse or a garage, if you can bring, like I said, your tropicals, if on a weekend like this weekend, you're going to need to put them in the house or at least in the garage. Most of your other stuff, you can just put it in the garage for 3 or 4 days. It'll be fine. Your garage is going to stay above freezing pretty much no matter what, as long as you leave the door closed. So what we do is we put a lot of stuff in the greenhouse. Any shoheens, we try to keep them warm. And when I say warm, I don't mean necessarily 60. I'm talking above freezing. And a lot of the other plants, like I said, we brought in all the podocarpus and crepe myrtles and Chinese elms and put them in the greenhouse on the floor. So they're still probably going to be in the 40s, but they're not going to be down in the teens. And so if it's down in the teens, you need to put as many things in your garage as you can, or cut them back and throw a blanket over them. One of the frost blankets will be good because that'll reflect the heat from the ground back up and keep them warm. That's about it. What else?
What if they have a big tree that they can't move, but it is one that's a hardy tree?
Then just, if you can always cut it back and throw a sheet over it. Believe it or not, that helps a lot. If you can keep the wind off of it, that's why they call it wind chill, because that makes it even colder. And the worst thing is, worst case, and I've done this before too, like they do in Florida at the orange groves. They actually turn on their sprinklers when it gets down below freezing, and they coat them with ice. And so what that does is it creates a blanket of ice around the tree. And believe it or not, ice won't get below 32. It sounds crazy, I know, but the air around the ice will get down in the teens, but the ice will stay at 32. So that's what they do with orange trees in Florida, is they spray them with water as it's freezing and just coat them with ice. So hope that helps. Good luck. Like I said, you don't have to keep them at 70, but just keep them above freezing. That's it. Hope you're having a great day. Good luck, and come see us when you can. Thank you.